Prefecture, Japan. We just had a blackout. Is it called blackout? Like the electricity just went away, like right before I came here. I hope it doesn't happen again. Like it's back on, but it just happened. I don't know if it's because of us, like in particular, like me and my husband, or the local area. I don't know what happened, but I hope. Oh, let me make a post first. Yay! Okay, so let's wait for people to join. I see a new. Ooh, what is this? Oh, do you see any difference? It's supposed to be a light. Huh, I'll go with that. Anyway, Dark Yoko is here. Hey, thanks for coming. How are you? I'm doing good. Thank you. How are you? We just had like electricity just went away for like a little while. It came back on. I don't know what happened. Maybe due to the heavy rain, or maybe my husband forgot to pay the bill. I don't know. Oh man, how are y'all? But yeah, Yoko, hey. So yeah, Dark Yoko, yeah. It's my drawing, and this drawing, these drawings, like give me power, you know. And when I speak in Japanese, by the way, like I'm intentionally speaking fast, and also like I use this silly tone, you know. Like I don't know if people take it as silly, because some people believe that I'm actually angry. I am, but like it's just I'm just expressing, you know. And some people just take it as that I'm just being angry naturally. But yeah, I have a like when I speak in Japanese, I have a certain character. So like this is me. Like I'm like this. Like if you meet me in person, I talk like this. But like in Japanese videos, I'm just I have a certain character. But yeah, Peacemaker Trump, because look at this, Trump senpai. Is this worth what's it called? The Nobel Peace Prize? I mean, this is a great step, right? This alone might be a little too, I don't know, specific, and it might need. But even Obama got that award. Hopefully, this is Azerbaijan and Armenia. You know this Armenia on the right side. This, his name, Armenia Prime Minister. His name is Pashinyan. Pashinyan. Such a cute name. It sounds like Jibanyan, or I don't know, like Japanese characters usually have something nyan, and in Japanese nyan sounds like meow, you know, like meow. So nyan, Pashinyan, like meow. Cute. But this is great. So did you guys see this news? Is it a big news over there? So Azerbaijan, it's flipped probably, but Azerbaijan, Armenia, so they're close to each other. This is Russia, so no, Russia, and then Armenia and Azerbaijan, and they both had like area of each other, right? But this area in Azerbaijan, Russia, was supporting Armenia. Armenia was close to Russia, right? I hope my understanding is correct. But so they had the territorial dispute, but you know, Azerbaijan won the war, right? In when was it? 2023. Azerbaijan, through the military actions, they took back their land. So the people who were in Armenia had to leave, and so on. And that happened because Russia didn't have the capacity to support the certain area of Azerbaijan anymore, the Armenian territory anymore. Russia couldn't back them up, so they lost that land. So now Armenia is, they don't believe Russia anymore, so this happened. That's awesome, and Trump took the chance, right? Like, I mean, he probably went in between and make things work. And what's interesting is this TRIPP. They have a route. I don't know why it's called in English, but it's now named Trump. So that's great. But I like to see stuff like this. But I think that when I look at like territorial disputes like this, like, oh, like here's this and that, and like, yeah, of course they should do that. But then there were people, Armenian people living inside Azerbaijan, and to them it was their land. So probably they are, I don't know what the conservatives or which side that is, but like, I don't know how some people in Armenia are feeling, because this is basically for them losing their territory. So I don't know. But yeah, but this is amazing though. Like for Trump and America, like when I look at this from another country, this is like showing power for America and Trump. This is power, right? And like, oh, like Trump actually does it. That America mediated, like, mediate is a word, right? I hope it's a right vocabulary. But they stood in between, and they both signed the declaration for peace. So that's amazing. Like, can you imagine, for example, like Japanese prime minister doing the same? It's not gonna. It wouldn't happen. I mean, Japan, our diplomacy is different from America, of course, but that alone, like America's diplomacy is different because America's power is great, So that's amazing. Yes. This black cat is obsessed with me. Sounds fun. Make you a bit more fiery, strong in Japanese. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'm a devil's advocate. I like to be the kind of sassy, annoying person that points out the stuff that people don't want to hear and so on. I'm kind of twisted like that. Yeah. I'm a nice person when I talk to foreigners, but when I talk to my own people, I'm like, dude, Surprised they're not meeting in Yalta. Yalta conference. It's probably not very cute. We did see that news. Cool. I'm not informed on what was going on over there. Is anyone pets are super clingy? My dog back home at my parents, my dog is so clingy to my dad now. Like follows him everywhere and always close. And whenever he gets out of the sight of my dog barks and so on because he's so not mentally stable anymore after his balls got cut basically in the surgery. Something happened probably with that surgery. He changed. Let's see. Trump route for international peace and prosperity. Oh, that's what it means. Yeah. Linda Tripp? Who is that? Trump is that big time New Yorker. Yeah. It's amazing. I hope that Trump is soon meeting Putin, and I hope it will work out well. But Putin has a way of talking people in. So this is the coverage. Of course, they have the pictures. They always do that in Japanese newspaper because visual helps, So let's see. Concerned about Trump being pro-Russia, like leaning to Russia. The what's the word? Ceasefire? like to stop the war. Russia leaning ceasefire concerning. This is concerning, as someone often posts. But yeah, because Trump might have a deal with Russia. And then as for secondary tariffs, no new announcements made. So there are some concerns, and this covers the Ukrainian side too, that how they're cautious about it. That Ukraine, of course, doesn't want to give the land. You know what America should do? Like what Trump should do? You should tell Trump to sell weapons to Ukraine, and Ukraine probably cannot, like they don't have the capacity to buy, but they should buy. But the people should, those who should pay for that is Europe. Like Europe doesn't have to get their blood on their hand, like Ukrainian soldier will fight, they're the fortress for Europe, right? They're fighting, and not only for themselves, but they're basically stopping the expansion of Russia. Russia, Putin clearly states that Ukraine doesn't exist, like it shouldn't be independent. Putin believes that Ukraine is part of Russia, which doesn't make sense to me, and by international common sense. But Putin is just an expansionist, just like other Russians in Russia. It's just how they are culturally, and we need to acknowledge that. So like Ukraine is stopping the expansion of Russia, and Europe, of course, doesn't want Russia to come outside of that area. So they should, in a way, like use Ukraine, like a max level, stop Russia right there, right? They have all the right reasons to back up Ukraine. And Ukraine, what they're missing right now is the weapons. And America, like for America, American soldiers will not go there. You just have to sell them weapons. Europe should buy them for Ukraine, and then Ukraine will fight Russia. And then this time, unlike Biden administration, they will launch the missiles and everything to attack Russia. The reason why Putin can go on and how he is supported today is because they're not getting the damage like Ukrainian people are getting. It's one-sided, Like sometimes Ukrainian people, of course, they go like the last time, they went inside of Russia and launched drones and attacked their fighter, what was it, fighter jets? Like they caused a lot of damage, and they did that inside. But that's instead of that, like they can just launch missiles, and then damage the capital area and so on. So that Russian people will realize like, oh, we are in a war and that we don't want to get damages, we don't want to die. So that's the level that we need to push. And so, yeah, that's what I think. And I hope that Trump will go like that instead of going closer to Russia. If this goes like different from the ideal route that I am envisioning, then it could become a bad precedent, like a bad example for later, especially for China. China wants to take Taiwan, and they are looking at how America is playing. Biden was easy, but Trump, how would Trump play this? Like if just Trump just gives it up, and goes close to Russia, even though like Trump is kind of waking up, like Russia doesn't listen to Trump, and now Trump is offended. But disappointed, like Trump is disappointed. He said that in July. So hopefully Trump will come back to our regular, common sense. But yeah, So this has to go well, and we need to stop Russia. Like this is war, and Russia keeps attacking Ukraine. Like, Ukraine should be able to attack Russia, right? And then if America does get involved in the right way, instead of like sacrificing the people of America or anything like that, but just do business. It works well for America. Uh, and everything, and involves in the right way, like America being kind of in a bossy place, like you guys guide the countries how to what to do, like guide the countries to decide what to do and so on, help them like that. And then China, Xi Jinping will be looking at that and realize like, oh, like if I try to take Taiwan, America will interfere like that or worse, because China's case is different, like it's even on a bigger scale. So yeah, that's on my mind. I just ramble, but this is Q&A, so ask me questions, whatever you are interested in. Zelensky last chance to take deal. Trump tells him to. Yeah, but he's the victim, just so you know. Like, I don't know. It's probably because Russia is really good at information war, that you guys are tricked into get on their side. I can say that because I'm not, like, we are part of the West, but I don't, like, I do speak English, but like we're not like Western people, so like we are looking, like Japanese people are looking at things objectively, and we still have the same common sense that we have always had. There are some people in Japan though who are pro-Russia. Like it's small, really small, like less than 5% of the population here, like Putin and so on, and they have a different perspective. But what they believe in is actually the ideology or the perspective that are from America and other countries, not from here. They just look into what Trump is saying or what the MAGA supporters are saying or whatever like that, like people like you maybe, and then copy and pasting it, like importing the ideas into Japan, and that's what they're doing. So they don't really represent our perspective. So that's how it is. Yeah. And Japan, firmly, we stand with Ukraine. Our former Prime Minister Kishida, like he was one of the earliest, wasn't he the earliest? Like he just decided to support Ukraine like fully, even though of course we have the regulations when it comes to exporting weapons and so on due to the post-war regime of the World War II. But still, like we can send Ukraine a lot of different kinds of aids, and we're supporting them with reconstructions and so on, and we are communicating very well. And the majority of the Japanese, doesn't matter on the right side or left side, we firmly stand with Ukraine. Yeah. So, yeah, the thing is with Ukraine is that I wish that we had a Sankei article. Today, somebody posted that, right? I think I bookmarked it. Yeah. See, this is today. Is it today's? Yes, Sunday. Today's newspaper, Sankei Shimbun. I don't have it with me. But it's about Soviet Union, the atrocity. And then this leader of ours at the time, he stopped it, Russia, our war hasn't ended. So Now Soviet Union is called Russia, but so it's the same for us. So let's see. Somebody made a list of what they did. So Russia, like Soviet Union back then, they committed crimes against Japan. Like Japan and Russia, I mean Soviet Union had a neutrality pact, and then because they realized that we are like our Tenno, our emperor, as you may call him, our emperor on August 15th declared, that we are no longer in the war, like we will stop fighting. And then so for us, that's the end of the war, you know. But and when that happened, Russia realized, I mean, Soviet Union realized like even before, I think that they realized that we are no longer fighting, and then they had to invade. So they unilaterally, even though we had neutrality pact, they dropped it, and then had a massacre in Manchuria where Japanese people were there, and took our soldiers to Siberia, and then basically had them as their slaves. And many Japanese people died there also. The number of those who were taken to Siberia is like 600,000 or so. So many people. Like if you picture that today, that's ridiculously like a large number of people. Like it's crazy. And then they also killed many non-combatants in Chishima and Karafuto, and then attacked our vessels that were trying to escape from all that. And then on the top of that, they illegally started to occupy our northern island, and no peace treaty has been signed since then, and they are still occupying our territories. So of course we stand with Ukraine, because same thing is happening with Ukraine, that they had what's it called, like a memorandum. They had that and so on, but Russia doesn't care. They want to expand, and they're still living with the same like old-fashioned imperialistic way of thinking. So yeah. Hi Yoko, I hope you are doing good. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for asking. I hope that the electricity doesn't go out anymore. Ultra MAGA. Cool. Like I want America to be great again. First of all, like even politics aside, like I love America, so like I want America to just prosper so that I can enjoy your culture. That's really big for me. I just love America and American English. So cool. Hence I'm speaking that right now. At least I'm trying to. And politically too, like we depend on America in many aspects. And so like if America is stronger, we're stronger. So that's good. And MAGA type of approach actually meets our needs, because like Trump doesn't want to send the soldiers to here and also to maintain bases here, even though we should keep that for deterrence. At the same time, like Japan has been wanting to militarily get independent, so it's a good shift, like of course like we should be able to cover our islands by ourselves. So like things happened in the past, but it's been long, and we are finding a good balance right now, I think. So yeah, just so you know, like Japanese people are fully open to Americans, just so you know, like it's so bizarre when you think about it historically. like seriously, when is that? This is from August 6th, when Hiroshima atomic bombs was dropped, and then they have this like, oh, post-war, like 80 years since the World War II. So like a nuclear experiment, and they're talking about hibaku, like to the exposures to nuclear weapons and so on. Like it's like if you turn on the TV, it's all about all this like a bombings, and like not only like nuclear bomb atomic bombs, but also like regular bombing by B-29 aircraft and so on. And this season it's just full of that, and it's so depressing. Of course, like I want to remember all the victims and so on, but it's just so sad. Like I don't like seeing TV this season. But even though that's the case, that the coverage today is like, oh, we are like, our elderly people are aging, and those who experienced the World War II, they are aging, and there are not many people that can speak their experiences anymore, because they are dying out and so on. And that's basically something that we need to work on. So now the younger generations are trying to basically copy what those people with experience were talking about and so on, and also to make sure to put in records and so on. So that's important as a country, I think. But even though we are doing all these things, what's interesting is that it doesn't that all the anger and frustration and so on, it probably, like right after the war, probably went to the American side, because it was the war, and that's natural. But today it has been a long time, especially, and also like both ends, Japan and America both worked so hard to work together, to be friends. We went through many things together, and politically too, we became good allies, basically. So I don't see Japanese people complaining to America unless they're like super radicals. Like generally we are so open, and so like we trust America. We think of America as our friends, and we love. This, you might not like this, but we like Obama or Trump. Like American president is somebody that we just care about a lot. And yeah, so I think that's the, like, when you think about it, like it's so natural that I don't think about it much, but when you think about it, it's kind of interesting, because some countries, like Chinese people, Chinese communists, and also some of the South Koreans backed by North Koreans or China, they are anti-Japan. They hate Japan. They always like use historical disputes as weapons to attack Japan, to degrade us, and so on. So like I see that happening all the time. So it's less from South Korea, by the way, because they are facing the reality that CCP-led China is coming onto them together with North Korea. So they are like prioritizing the reality. Yeah, so that's the case. So when you compare how some Chinese people and also some Korean people, and maybe in some like Chinese-blooded people in other Asian countries too, like they're so like still living in the past, right? But over here in Japan, we don't have that attitude towards America. So that's the contrast is very interesting to me. Let's see. No way USA will support escalation, but you can't. But then Putin will never listen to you if you are that way. Basically, Trump right now is like looked down on by Putin. You might not think that way because Putin is white, basically, and also Putin is he knows how to speak. he knows how to talk to people. He knows how to spread his propaganda. So you might not think that way, but Putin definitely looks down on Trump because he knows that if he pushes Trump in the right way, Trump will not harm Russia or Putin. And you're trapped by that, but you can't see that because they know how to appeal to you. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Oh, two of you. Thank you so much. Hisashiburi desu ne. Oh, Kathy, hello. Thank you. I know that you missed the notification or you didn't get a notification last week. But thank you for coming. I know that my live stream is late, but I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Oh, another super chat. Thank you so much. Blasterbot. Japanese like Americans, just not the in real life streamers. Oh, yeah. We don't like the streamers going around harassing people either. So it balances out, I think. That's the new thing that we are concerned about. It's interesting how like time has passed and we are not really talking about the World War II anymore, and we are focusing on the actual problems that we are facing today. So that's, yeah, we have the mutual, like, what's great is that we have common sense. Like, common sense is something that I took for granted, but common sense is really, common values are really, really, it's not something that you can have it for like free, like it's like Japan is going through over tourism right now. Of course, our government is pushing because our economy is weak, but I mean, compared to the past. But of course, that's not the right way to, maintain our economic state. So there are many, many problems that we are facing. But whenever like we share the footage or pictures, of all this problematic tourist together with the streamers, yeah, like now, like Western people, like not only America, but like Westerners in general, like they get it, and it's really like we feel kind of strong when we have friends like you all, Yeah, streamers, man. It's we do have our own though. Like there are some ridiculously stupid people in Japan too. But one of them though turned into somebody like he wants to he did make it to become a politician, I think, in Nara area. This guy named Hezumaru, like it's his username. But he used to, there's this guy who used to commit crimes even, I think, that he filmed himself. If I remember correctly, like he went through the cashier of a grocery store and stole some fish or something, and filmed it and posted it on YouTube or something like that. Like he committed some kind of crime like that. And yeah, he was known as a really problematic YouTuber. But then after a while, he changed. And now he got kind of, he earned some credit by what's the word? Like confronting Chinese tourists in Nara, Chinese tourists who are kicking our sacred deers and so on, because we have shrines there, and our deers around that area are sacred, and so he started to protect those deers, and then he, people liked the shift in him and so on, and now we're not only we're touched by the change, and also we are thankful for what he does. Some people are still not trusting the guy, but we have like cases like that. So we do have like all these bad people, but there are sometimes good turnouts as well. So the good turnouts, I think, should be more like praise and so on, even though it could be created intentionally, so that would be bad. But you know what I mean. Like we should push the society for better. Yeah. Many New Zealanders live in Japan, and many Japanese people live in New Zealand. We love New Zealand, yeah. There are some people, yeah, like Australia and New Zealand. I think Japanese people go there to, especially today. It's like, of course, like we always liked New Zealand together with Australia, but I think due to COVID, our yen got weak, and it's way better to work overseas now. So some people do that. Hello, hello. Tom Green had a show on MTV, and he went over to Japan in 2002 and harassed Japanese people and searched for entertainment purposes. It's called Subway Monkey Hour. Wow. Remember Jackass? My friends liked Jackass. Is that guy still there, like committing pranks and so on? But yeah, I mean, Japanese TV was crazy back in the day too. So I don't know. Like sometimes, like old footage of Japanese TV shows come up on my X timeline, and like for example, like this one that I saw was like, oh, I'll give you this certain amount of money, so then can you give me your underwear or something like that. Like in the 90s or so, like it was like TV shows were so like sexual. It was like we didn't have any rules, like it was crazy. So many people point out that now that TV stations have to go to they have to clear like a political correctness and everything, like the modern, like a really new guidelines are there, so they need to make sure that they pass that, right? So then the content on TV are no longer fun. So those but we are all humans, Japanese people embrace freedom of expression and everything. We are a little crazy because we usually follow law and order, so we want some like contents that liberate us, if you know what I mean. So then when YouTube came, at first people didn't know how to use YouTube, but years later, like people on TV, they were, I don't know if they were like, they weren't allowed before, but like there was a time in Japan, like all of like our famous people on TV started YouTube channels and so on. So that was the phase two, and then like we all realized that like it can, like YouTube can be like a TV show, and then like regular YouTubers started to create their own show and so on, doing crazy things, like it all goes crazy, right? Like after a while. So yeah, now they are like, YouTubers are like our old TV, doing crazy things, and TV became boring. So that's the flow that I am seeing. So I'm not too worried about the TV people in the past from America. We had this guy he called himself hard gay. There was, like, you can Google him. Like there was a guy, like this comedian who was whose name that he went with was hard gay. He dressed himself like a kind of like a gay guy with the sunglasses, but he has a good body though, kind of sexy. But yeah, and then like he goes to a random people on the street and like, oh, yeah, and then whoo, and then I'm hard gay, and then goes to some random people and they're like, ah, you know, it's a bunch of that repetition, and people just enjoy that though somehow. So yeah, crazy world. Let's see. Lord of the Rings is back in theaters. Oh, I'm seeing Fellowship of the Ring this month at theater. 24 years after I first saw it in theater. ロード・オブ・ザ・リングがまたあるの? My husband says he doesn't know, but he would watch it. I mean, he'll probably go see it. I don't know that. Let me look it up because Japan might be different. I can't. I don't know. Is it coming back? I don't know. Some people don't know how to write articles. Like it's hard to get to the point. But yeah, by the way, we are going to see the dinosaur movie. Is it Jurassic World? The new one? It's already out here in theater, but we want to go see that because my birthday is coming up. Jurassic World? Jurassic World. I'm so excited. By the way, your sketch looks really good as a background. Thank you. I know. I feel so strong when I'm with my own drawings. Yesterday, I drew something too while listening to some political thing. Sometimes, like when I draw stuff like this, like I don't really think about things. It's just a pattern. So like, yeah. My mom, it's because of my mom. My mother, whenever she was on the phone, you know how like land phones worked before, if you're from my generation or above. You know, land phone, like you're basically like just like this, they're connected, you can't go anywhere. And you know, when you are on the phone for so long, you want to do something because you're there for a long time. So like my mom would just sketch or just move her pen, like I'm like, what are you doing, you know? But like, you know, so I grew up looking at that, so probably I'm inspired by that. Oh, super chat, thank you so much, Kenji. China has been producing anti-Japan movies a lot in 2025. Oh, they're desperate. Focusing on historical events. Do you think Japanese people are strong against attempts by China at creating historical guilt? What's interesting is that it's not like Japanese people are proud of our own history, you know? Doesn't mean that like what China is saying is true. Like a lot of it is distortion and fabrication. So like our people, our experts are refuting them, you know, showing evidence and so on, and how weak their storyline is and so on. But the thing is, we lost the World War II. So what happened next was that we didn't get colonized, but we did get occupied for what, 8 years or so? So during that period, our textbooks were literally inked out and our Shinto was banned. We had a press code. So our press at the time couldn't speak ill of other countries like America or Russia, Soviet Union or China or whatever, you know. So we had to just go. And also our officials were purged. 200,000 officials were purged if they were patriotic. So those who, all of them got kicked out. Those who remained, like non-patriotic people remained, or they had to be non-patriotic at least to keep the job and so on. So those people created this non-patriotic system, like post-war regime, you know. So the as a result, what we learn in school, what we hear from the media, everything is basically anti-Japan. So I am special, one of the special people, because it took a while though. Like I only realized, or I mean, I learned it only when I hit like 28 years old. I learned that what I learned in school, like Nanking massacre and so on, for example. Like the number is different. You know, what I learned in school is like, 300,000 people in Nanjing area were massacred. I learned that. I had to write that on school exams. And the number is not even accurate, you know. There were some cases happening, but it's not like our people did it. Instead, like our people were, like there was like a massacre of Japanese people by China. And we don't learn that, you know. So like it's all distorted and everything. And so I needed to read a lot to realize what I was learning was biased and everything. But the majority of Japanese people are still deceived. You know, they don't know. So Chinese people just doing the movies and so on to try to, you know, speak bad about Japanese people. But Japanese people already think about ourselves as bad people in history. I don't like it because it's false, but and we have our own like a, you know, patriotic perspective of history, and we don't hear that. You need to make efforts if you want to learn that. So but the reason why China is doing that though is to probably, the easiest thing to that, like, I mean, like the first thing that comes to my mind is that, oh, China is desperate to maintain their country. It's a common thing between China and South Korea even. Whenever they have some problems inside, like economically and so on. China right now, they have economic problem, like their economy is not growing. Their technology is, you know, stealing intellectual property and everything. They are proceeding, going forward in certain areas. But as a country, the big population country, they are facing low birth rates. Their economy, like the young people cannot go into the good university that they want to go because the economic gap is there, and then they have to go to the right university, but the number is limited, the competition is high, and some people cannot get in. Their life just ends there, and so on. They don't want to work, and there are many problems like that. Whenever stuff like that happens, when they start this negative campaign against Japan. And simultaneously, when it comes to information war, this is their great weapon to attack Japan, because while they are attacking Japan, they can pretend like victims. So then, and the world's attention goes to Japan, right? Like, oh, what did the Japanese do back in the day, right? So then we will be discussing that instead of talking about Uyghurs, for example, Uyghur people or Chinese nationals even inside their own concentration camps today. All the like genes and everything, you know, like it's all managed. Their surveillance system is great, you know, especially in the concentration camps. In China, and they are doing, even like you probably have heard about organ harvesting, right? So and there are like doctors who have fled from China because they can't do it anymore, like no anesthesia, and they just get rid of their organs to give it to their customers and so on right away. So like just like that. and they're doing all these crazy things, to maintain their economy and power. They are expansionists too. So yeah, they use all like historical disputes to as weapons. So, and what's scary about it though is the Chinese people, like of course, like they don't their their information is limited, the CCP deletes. Like if you type in like Tiananmen Square massacre in China, it gets deleted. And even our broadcasting system, NHK, when they broadcast that in China, when our coverage gets like beep, like it gets silenced sometimes. So like they have this regulation, right? So they don't know what it's like in this open, free world side, right? So, and on the top of that, when they learning from like early on, they learned that, oh, Japan was atrocious, so bad. They are like our stupid politicians have apologized for what they didn't even have to apologize for, But like our country, as a country, like we have apologized a lot, and giving ODA and so on to like assist money, to China and so on. We finally stopped that like a decade ago or so. I don't know. I don't know. You can probably look it up. But we were helping helping China prosper and so on. But Chinese people only focus, they learn about all the negative things about Japan. They do enjoy our anime and porns and so on, but like historically speaking or politically speaking, they only learn about the negative side. And on the top of that, if they watch, there are already anti-Japan movies though. So so yeah, but anyway, if they watch even more movies, they get into the zone of anti-Japan atmosphere, right? So when that happens, they're and together with the economic frustrations inside China, they're like when you are economically unstable, your mental state goes unstable too, right? So like there are like just the other day too, there was another attempt of murder. I think like yeah, like Japanese people are getting attacked in China. It's like we've been hearing that, and like it's just like simply put, if I may simply put it, it's a hate crime, happening in China. So Japanese people are careful not to speak Japanese in public and so on. There were like a case, this was, how old was he? Like 9 years old or so. Like he got stabbed by a Chinese guy to death, and stuff like that has been happening. Like this mom and her child also got assaulted on a bus, I think, and the Chinese guide, though, the female protected them or something, and she died. So like all these tragedies are happening inside China. So like things like that could happen. So who knows, like one day like Chinese people come here just to commit crimes, because they they have done it kind of mildly, like graffiti on the Yasukuni shrine and so on. What would you think, like if a Chinese guy, like a communist type, not the good kind of Chinese, but communist type, flies to America and put some graffiti on the Arlington Cemetery or something? Like it's, yeah, we are experiencing stuff like that already. So, yeah. But this time though, like Chinese technology, of course, is getting better. So what that means is that probably the movies could be, really, really well made. Like who knows? So if that happens, what's concerning is the reactions from the world. So like I hope that our government does a good job, with sharing common values. Common values are really important to show that how China is doing this, not for their honor or anything, just to, bring Japan down, and to their aim is to cut the ties between Japan and America, by the way. That's why, like, it's been going on for a long time. It's like, is it before or during the World War II? Like, there was this Chinese, oh, she was actually the wife of, wait for me. Something Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek. Chiang Kai-shek. His wife, right? Wasn't she this Tsuma? Yeah. She was born in 1898 in Shanghai. And then his wife got educated in America. She spoke Chinese, English, and French. And so after they got married, she went to America, and basically she was spreading rumors about Japan, like negative campaigns. And I'm here trying to do the total opposite, right? Because it's not like my intention is not to bring down China, but to, I want American people to be on the same page in the fight against communism. So, yeah. I do have Chinese friends, by the way. Like, some people mistake, like, those Chinese nationalistic people, they mistake me as somebody like a racist, against Chinese people or something. I do have Chinese friends, who like democratic type of people. So I'm rambling a lot, but I hope you are getting something out of what I'm saying. Let's see. Thank you so much for super chat. Let's see. Do they release movies in Japan? I wonder what's gonna happen. Like, our Sankei Shimbun, the conservative-leaning newspaper, is talking about it, though. They were gonna release the movie about this Unit 731, the movie, because like way earlier, they were going to, China wanted to release it. I mean, they were planning to release it on July 31st. Because the number is the same number as the unit name. So stupid. Yeah. Oh, by the way, in order to avoid Chinese people, I think that, like, where did I hear that? I don't remember. I was watching some conservative show, like a Japanese conservative show, and somebody was pointing out that, like, like, we need to protect Japan from Chinese communists, like, they shouldn't buy our real estate and so on, but of course, like, especially because the economy is bad in China right now, the rich people are like, what's the word? I don't know how to say that. Like, trying to say, like, changing the location of their money to other countries, including Japan. So, and also they buy real estate when they do that, right? So stuff like that. So, but we need to stop that because we don't want the silent invasion happening, right? And then what's interesting is that there was a rumor, or it's like, there is, I think I have told you before, but there's this Japanese woman, a famous woman. She knew a prophecy like that. Not prophecy, but like, she just saw the future in her dreams in the 90s, and she knew that the big earthquake in Fukushima area in back in 2011, what's gonna happen, and a few other things. Like she had a dream about it, and put together in a book or something, and yeah, and it was accurate. So, and then the next thing today, like her dream said that there was gonna be a huge earthquake near Japan, and that it would be a like really really like a destructive damage, you know. And then Chinese people and even Hong Konger people, you know, like those Eastern culture people, heard that rumor. And then even though they were coming to Japan on a regular basis as tourists, they stopped coming in July because they are so superstitious. You know, Chinese people are really, really superstitious. So like our conservative people were saying in a political show, like, oh, maybe we should, tell them about all this superstitious stuff because they take it seriously. And one of them was actually pointing out that they made there was this horror movie in China, I think. I don't know who made that, Japan or China, but yeah, but they had to make it in such a comical way because Chinese people get frightened easily. So that was that was really interesting. Yeah, offshoring. Yeah. Let's see. I should sketch while talking on the old phone too. Yeah, right? Yeah, we do that. Yeah. Fun. My husband's phone is ringing. August 6 movies are like their own genre. Godzilla Minus One was smart to merge kaiju movie with August 6 movies post-World War II genre. Oh yeah, Japan does have some movies or comic books and so on about the World War II. It's so traumatizing, by the way. When I was in elementary school, it was, I don't know what it was, but like my generation somehow, we liked scary things, you know, horror stories and so on. So it was a trend, at least in my school. And so together with like all this, like superstitious or like kind of scary horror stories in school, we also read a lot about like the war and aftermath and what happened to the body of the people. You know, there are lots of visuals, you know, photos and so on in a book, and also there are some people that drew about it in comic books. So we were reading it, and it's traumatizing. What's crazy for me is that, so like it's a compulsory education, you know, like we need to learn about it in summer. Like I at least went to school on August 6th or 9th, and then I had to watch like when I was in elementary school, you know, like my brain is still like trying to grow bigger and so on. The stimulation is not good, you know, but like we had to see the scary war stuff in school, and every year we do that, you know. So like I guess I'm kind of traumatized by B-29 sounds, you know, that somehow, I don't know how, but like they have all the records of the World War II. So like brrr, and the B-29 comes, and then the aircraft, and then so like whenever like I live, like where I live, like lots of planes fly over us, you know, and regular planes are okay, but sometimes like the propeller type of, you know, like just like B-29 sounds comes from the sky. I'm like, like bomb, you know. Like it's ridiculous. I know, but I'm like, huh? Like I think I'm traumatized in some part. It's crazy. But even Japan, like we have that experience. So probably in China, they're pushing the historical disputes on purpose to weaponize the people. So let's see. I like Japan. Not gonna work. The movies won't work. That's great. America had a show called MXC, which was old footage from a Japanese show called Takeshi Castle. And they just put funny English commentary over that version. That's awesome. I would rather watch that version. Takeshi Kitano has like his sense is very, very like foreign to Japanese people. At least in my opinion, he's not really Japanesey-ish. He has a good sense that appeals to the West, so that's great. Like he made movies, of course. What did Japan do for the 80th anniversary of August 6th, the Hiroshima bombing? I believe our governor and mayor in Hawaii went to the ceremony. I remember that they always play sad World War II drama movies. Oh, speaking of which, I think I saw the coverage actually. Was it here? This is I don't have. Oh, this is 6th, but okay. So this is okay. 6th. Did it have a bit of section here talking about? Wait here. Hiroshima atomic bombs, 80 years. And how they are having the ceremony there. On my X timeline though, what I saw was Ishiba, our prime minister, falling asleep, and that's what Japanese people care about. I'm like so low, but yeah, this is before, right? 6th. So this like they're talking about the plan that they're gonna be, the ceremony. So Ukraine, Israel, and there will be like 120 countries and nation states joining the ceremony. Even Palestine and Taiwan will join for the first time. And yes. And then this is the 9th. The front page, the 10th. Talking about the 9th. But this is a famous statue for peace. I went there on a school trip when I was it elementary school? Yeah, elementary school. Nuclear abolition, the mission of Nagasaki, 80 years after the atomic bombs. So Nagasaki should be the last place to be bombed with atomic bombs. So that's what they're talking about. So what's interesting though, what I found interesting is that those countries that joined, there were 94 countries and regions and EU representatives and so on. In total, 4,200 people were there. And America, the UK were there. Iran, Palestine joined too. Russia and Belarus came as well after 4 years. And Israel got invited by the city and they joined too after 2 years. And Taiwan joined for the first time. And regularly China was there, which is surprising for me. China, but this time they didn't come. I don't know why. Ukraine was absent. The war is happening. Yeah, so that's interesting that all the countries come together. It's good for Japan, but it is kind of interesting considering what's happening in the world. So yeah. Oh, it talks about America, Russia. 15th, on the 15th, they're gonna have a summit, as I talked about it earlier. Yeah, but the 15th though is the important day for Japan. As I said, it's for us, that's the end of the war. So that's the date. Oh well. What else to talk about? I've been talking for 70 minutes. Any other super chat? Yoko, are you in a hotel or just a different room? This is our living room. And these are my drawings. I drew them years ago. I want like something big like this again so that I can draw big. This is just a regular board, carbon box type of paper. And my husband got it to wrap something with it, but he didn't use these. I'm like, I'm gonna draw on that. Yeah. Noble mission, yeah. What's interesting, some people say like for Hiroshima, many people pay attention and actually like for the ceremony, many people come, but Nagasaki, it's not as many. At least some people were saying that. So that's interesting. But Nagasaki includes the damage of the churches, though. Christian churches were damaged too. So maybe that's the history that they don't want to touch. I don't know. Oh, speaking of Christianity, Prime Minister Ishiba is actually Christian. He's Protestant. Yeah. And the reason why I'm not very active lately, I haven't been active lately on X, but that is because Japan has been going through this crazy time that our prime minister lost elections, like both national and the one in Tokyo too. But 3 consecutive, is it the word? 3 election in a row, he lost the election, and also 2 of them are national level, and in the diet, both houses, upper and lower houses, LDP, his party doesn't have the majority, so it's a really bad loss, right? But usually when that happens, when LDP, the big party, when they lose an election, the head of the party, the leader, quits the job, and resigns and pass it to somebody else, because that's how you take the responsibility, But Ishiba, the current one, after 3 losses, he's still there, and he's like, I want to be responsible, and so in order to, I want to deeply think about how to take the responsibility. We are all like, just quit, That's what I've been saying in my videos in Japanese recently. I'm like, just quit already. That's what I'm yelling in my videos. But seriously, like, he's been there and it's confusing our politics. And he says like, oh, by quitting, I don't want to create like a blank in politics. I don't know how to say that in English. Let me ask. 政治空白を作りたくないと。Don't want to create a political vacuum. Vacuum? That's how you say it? Political vacuum. And then he's still there, and by that he is creating this vacuum. It's really bad. Yeah. So like, like China is right there in the south of Japan, and the Ukrainian situation is bad, so we need to help them and everything. And with Trump, we need to have a healthy relationship. But our administration for that, the negotiations with America seems to be going well. But we can't even trust that process because it's so weird. So we want a new leader, you know, but he's there. But the interesting part is that, as I said, Ishiba is Christian. So I'm wondering, like, some people say it's because of his belief somehow that maybe he is justifying his journey, like, oh, God is giving him lessons and that he needs to endure in the difficult path and so on. Maybe he believes that, and some people were pointing that out. My husband, for example, though, he says that Ishiba is just what's the like he has this personal grudge because of Abe, you know, that it's his fault though. When Shinzo Abe was in power, Ishiba just kept complaining. But probably to his surprise, Abe's power lasted like the longest in history. So all the while, Ishiba had to sit in the corner, you know. So this is probably like revenge for him, you know. But so I was wondering, like, what's the good word to say to him using Christian values, you know, because then maybe he will listen. Because he did, like, at least I didn't read the actual article, but I remember seeing the title of the article saying that Ishiba like gets hurt when other Christians blame him or something like that. So yeah, vacuum, political vacuum. Isn't vacuum is like to like vacuum, like a vacuum cleaner? It's in Japanese it sounds like blank or space, but vacuum, I need to look that up later. Abe was much respected in the Western world. Thank you. I have to thank Trump though. Like Trump probably made you know, because Trump and Abe got along so well. I mean, Abe knew how to talk to Trump. Like he probably, you know, analyzed how to talk to Trump. What's known in Japan is that, for example, when you talk to Trump, do not say no. And use the phrase like yes, but, you know, yes, Trump, you're right. This is blah 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 blah. But instead of like, you know, use that type of way of speaking instead of going like, no, Trump, you know, you don't do that kind of thing. And we learned that through Abe. But anyway, whatever he did worked, and he got on the phone with Trump many times, and they were very close on a personal level. That's great, but for the Western world, I think that, of course, Abe was great, you know, like he was charismatic and he was doing things by his own. But at the same time, I think Trump's credibility was earned through Trump, because Trump is a tough guy, but he liked Abe. So then you get the impression like, oh, Abe must be good, you know, and then opens up to him and so on. So yeah, it's both. Oh, I see. Multiple definitions. I get frightened easily. Maybe that's how Trump should talk to Putin. Oh, like to learn the pattern of him and so on. The ghost of Shinzo Abe. Sounds like he likes power. Yeah, he likes power. Because like once Ishiba, our current prime minister, leaves, you know, like resigns from the prime minister or the leader of LDP position, then he will again put in the corner, because the next one will be the opposite of Ishiba. Because, you know, Abe was in power for such a long time that, you know, majority of people supported him, supported Abe. But Ishiba didn't like Abe and kept attacking. So if Abe is supported, and then Ishiba was against him. So uh, we see what's happening, and then of course we don't like Ishiba. We like Abe, but Ishiba is the head of LDP, so that's why they cannot win the election. So then LDP will probably think like, oh, we should go with more conservative leaning leader, So yeah. So most likely, I don't know. It's difficult though. I don't know who's gonna be the next though. Yeah, but right now we just want Ishiba to quit because there are some gathering happening or rally happening inside of the the parliament member building, or prime minister's residence. That there are leftists cheering for Ishiba, the current one, to keep doing whatever he's doing, to stay as a prime minister. Those liberals, or they're not even liberals, they're like extreme left. They are supporting Ishiba because Ishiba is not really conservative. He used to be conservative, but he's not really conservative anymore. So it's better that he's the leader instead of other leaders, right? So those leftists are supporting Ishiba, and it's really, really bad. No more super chats. No. Let's wait for a bit more. At the time, our Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, yeah, spoke respectfully about him, and we were able to organize our rugby players to play in the Japanese rugby competitions. Oh, right. We had a rugby like a world thing, right? Like a world league type of rugby in Japan. I remember that it was so exciting. Yeah, it was so exciting. I think they played here too, in Fukuoka. I didn't know rugby was so fun until I saw that. Yeah, and I think that was the first time I saw haka, like kind of scary. It's so cool though. I really don't want to see Japan fall. So many countries have been ruined by mass immigration. Like videos of disrespectful immigrants in Japan breaks my heart. Yeah. I mean, do you know why that happens though? Because we are inviting them to fix economic problems. It's generally Japanese people, like, we like foreigners but not as residents, I mean, we kind of can tolerate. It's hard to verbalize. We like foreigners on an individual level, but of course we are against immigration generally. We like Japan being Japan by Japanese people. I think that's the natural sense because Japan has been that way. We don't like change. The biggest thing about Japanese people is that we don't like change. We want to keep living in this comfort zone. That's how our culture is. That's why our politics is always like moderate, doesn't go extreme, because that's a reflection of our culture. But where was I going with that though? Oh, and immigration though, there are more like foreign people because they are workers, foreign workers. Why are there foreign workers? Because our Keidanren, I don't know how to say that in English. I need to memorize that. Japan Business Federation. Japan Business Federation. And together with like labor union and so on, I think like those, economy people, they always care about their profit. It's like before national polity or Japan's identity, they think about Japan's, they prioritize their profit, their own selfish profit. So when they cannot maintain anymore, then they want, they want to hire people for cheap labor, and also yeah, other things, and so they want to use foreign workers. So when that happens, the foreign workers come, and it complicates the picture and so on. Together with private universities, they get aid when they have a certain number of students, and when they can't maintain that number, they welcome exchange students or just foreign students, to fill the number, so that they can get the aid and so on. So it's been really bad. They should just go out of business, right? But they keep that business just to maintain, and it's really, really making the picture, making it really bad, if you know what I mean. Oh, super chat, thank you. Hey Yoko, have you ever watched the YouTube channel called Sitch and Adam? I think I've heard of it. I think you would enjoy their content. They are streaming later today at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 a.m. Japan time. I need to wake up early. But it's on YouTube, right? So I can watch the archive, right? Yeah, that name sounds familiar. Probably others have recommended to me. Sitch and dumb. This. Wait. Oh. Interesting. I should. I'll just subscribe and see. Subscribed. Okay. Thank you so much for a recommendation. I should check that out. Oh, Kenji-san, again, thank you so much. Here's another super chat. Please consider doing streams at about 9 your time weekdays. You will get so many more US viewers. 9 in the morning here, at night. So a night for you guys, but earlier and on weekdays. I mean, I could do that, I guess. I want to change my sleeping schedule, like I'm so in a unhealthy cycle. It's really bad. My body is screaming, seriously. So like I want to, change my sleeping cycle and so on. So that this is like now is a good actually opportunity to have something to wake up to. Like this, I know that I set my time before and I'm breaking it openly, but yeah. Thank you for the suggestion. I should try that, I guess. Like keep this and also try that on weekday. Weekday like when? Wednesday. For you, Wednesday maybe? Thursday here, maybe. Can Kishida come back like Abe did? Kishida さんは安倍さんのように帰ってこれるか? I'm asking my mentor, my husband. It's possible, but less. It's possible when you think about it on the table, but it's not likely. I mean, there are many people that want to become prime minister. All right. So like in Japan, it's not only prime minister that has power. So like other positions will work, and also Kishida's case, Kishida has already been our prime minister. So like his former prime minister, and then the former prime ministers are actually powerful. So, and they're free too, freer. Like when they are our prime minister, they have regulations. They can't say what they want to say because it can be like a national level of like international problems or something like that. Like a diplomacy, you need to think about diplomacy, right? So you can't be free-minded when you are actually the prime minister. At least in Japan, that's the case. We need to follow the path. But after you resign from that position, you have this power in your on your status, that you're the former prime minister, you're the big guy, and also you get to say what you want to say, and people will listen for more or less. So yeah. And Abe was actually starting to have that power, like former prime minister. So he's strong, but he has less regulations. So he was starting to gain his power, and then he got assassinated. So it was really, and by the way, in Japan though, like after Shinzo Abe died, our conservative circle has been crazy. Like he was like, we have this expression, like when you picture like an Asian fan, like fan, fan has this part to connect everything, right? All that, this, right? So, but Abe was like here, this connecting everything as one, but he's gone, and so it's like now it's all scattered. Who can be the next prime minister, or can an old one come back like Abe? Like they could, but it's I don't know. It's possible, but like you can't really calculate the Japanese politics unless it comes like right before that time. We can guess like 2 weeks away or something, but we have an expression that I don't know how to say that in English. Issun saki wa yami. Issun saki wa. I wonder how, like a proverb. Oh, you can't directly translate it. The future is unpredictable. You never know what's around the corner. Anything can happen in an instant. Darkness lies just ahead. Something like that. We have an expression that in politics that's the case. So, yeah. The fan comparison is really sad. No, we have a word for it. The fan, and this is called kaname. Kaname. So, Abe was the kaname, 12:50 a.m. PST in Los Angeles. Ooh. It's 1:47 a.m. for me in Utah. I know. 7:45 in New Zealand. Oh, you guys are ahead? Oh, cool. So cool that this is international. Yeah. People forget when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Yeah, applies everywhere. So it's true. I'm so hungry. Abe could bring all parties together despite their political views, similar to what President Trump has with the American people. Yeah, the character and charisma. Like, there are people that just attract people, attract others. And Trump is like, he has this, like, very unique character. but he's rich and he's fun. He's crazy, but he's attractive. You know, that like people cannot stop talking about Trump, right? So that's his charisma. Ishiba, by the way, nobody likes him. Only his local politicians, because those local ones have to obey to the more senior politicians anyway. So that's the case. But that's like the only case. Nobody likes Ishiba. They just chose him because they compared with Takaichi, another conservative. She's a female politician, kind of close to Abe, you know, really conservative, but a little too, I don't know. She's really good, very smart, and she knows a lot about policies, but she can be a little too blunt, kind of like Trump in a way. And she's going on her own way, and she's a lone wolf type instead of like Abe. Like Abe is a people person, you know, but Takaichi is not like that. She's so serious, which is great, but like in politics, you need to make friends, you know. She's learning that now and has many more friends than compared to before. But like, and also like she is unapologetic when she speaks my mind or her beliefs. So she wants to visit Yasukuni Shrine, for example, which is great. I want her to do that, but at the same time, it is true that some people criticize when people criticize her for that, like her plan to visit Yasukuni Shrine and so on. When you think about diplomacy, of course, people are a little concerned about that because China and South Korea will go crazy over that. So, like, why would we, on when the world is going through this crazy time right now, like everything is unstable? Why would you do that? You know, like so, like their reasoning is actually valid to a certain degree. So like when you think about all the troubles that might happen through Takaichi, it's kind of natural that some like the LDP people chose Ishiba over Takaichi because those two fought in the last election to decide the leader. So, another super chat. Thank you so much. I have one question. What is opinion on the show of Tokyo Vice on HBO Max? I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's great. I will be watching it later today. Ooh, never heard of that. Is it the one with that take up interesting things? Let's see. Oh no, my husband lay down. Lied down. Lay and lie are confusing word for me. Tokyo Vice. If you yawn, you'll be on the stream. This is Tokyo Vice. Oh wait. No, it's a show, TV show? This? Never seen that before. Yakuza ceremony scene. What? Fluent in 8 months. That's interesting. The actor learned Japanese, really? Huh. Never seen that before. Oh, I see Ken Watanabe. Huh. Is it new? From a year ago? Huh. That's cool. I should check that out. Alright. Vacuum means zero air. Oh, I see. I see. Am I a ghost? No. Why do you ask that? Why did you think you are a ghost? Did I miss your comment? I mean, I've been rambling a lot today, so. If you give me super chat, then I will jump on you. I mean, jump on the comment. If I jump on you, that's just wrong. Anyway, for my comments. Sorry for that. But regular comments, right? But I don't actually see though. I don't see your comments though before that. Anyway, he went to lay down. Yes, he went to lay down. He's lying right now. Yeah, now I'm seeing your comments. From the ... I see that. I go up and I don't see. Yeah. Anyhow, anything else to talk about? Me either. Oh yeah, auto-modded. That can happen. You saw them? I don't know, but you can write them again if you could. Getting kind of hot. Anyway, what else to talk about? Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. Recite this. My husband just played the ending theme for Japanese people. In Japan, when stores close, we have this certain song. 泣かないでください。やめてください。Guys, help! My husband is going crazy. My husband is going crazy. He's becoming like a wolf. What is going on? Why isn't what I'm typing appearing on other channels? I don't know. I'm not a YouTube god, so I don't know. I can see them, but they can't. Oh, if that's on other, is it on my channel? Because if it's on another channel, you might be like, there's a function to not to show you on the channel. instead of blocking, there's a function. Like YouTube doesn't have block system anymore. They have the system to like not to show a certain person, and then so like you will feel like you're typing and your comment is there and others cannot see you. Are you talking about that? Oh, super chat, thank you so much. Oh wait, it's a first super chat, yay! But I can't see that though. Like I hate it when that happens. Like YouTube covers the comment with like, oh, his first super chat and so on. I'm like, I want to see the comments. You know, I gotta go by myself. On my phone, I'll check it. Oh, it's just a super, I mean, sticker. Okay. Ha ha ha. I couldn't even see that though. Yeah. Cool. Thank you so much. Ha ha ha. Cute. I wonder what it's supposed to be, by the way. Pear? Is it pear or I don't know. Oh, I wanna have a kiwi. Desperate. What did I do wrong? I have no idea. Have any Japanese companies created their own AI programs like Grok or ChatGPT, or do Japanese people just use the American ones? We use the American ones. But some people, there are two individuals that I heard about, not AI, but social media. Some like, what's his, Yusaku Maezawa, or what his name? Maezawa だっけあれ。金持ち。Yusaku Maezawa. He sometimes talks about social media, creating a social media, like a Japanese version. He's super rich. Net worth 1.5 billion US dollars. And then also Tsuneyasu Takeda, the offspring of Meiji Emperor. He owns many businesses, and he was saying in one of his streams that he could make an actual like made in Japan social media platform. Like he knows people, you know, he's famous and he is connected to many people, so he can create a platform. But then he was talking about how what's difficult is not the creating a platform, but to drive people onto the platform, which takes like a year too. So like he was talking about that. American services are great because people jump on the new things, and you have population, and also you are powerful, so other people in other countries start using it naturally. So yeah. But as for AI 作ってないよね。あるのかな? Yeah. I think that maybe some companies have their own service, you know, but we don't see like that sort of, yeah, like a Grok or ChatGPT type of things. At least as far as I know, like I have not heard of that, which is crazy, because I think though that the problem isn't that Japanese people, whether Japanese people are capable of or not. The problem is that in Japan, we are really, because our economy is bad, we don't have enough budget. Anything, you know, like the social media platform is different because will people use it or not? But AI and so on, if you create something, then I know that people from other countries also will be, you know, they'll be interested in using that. So I wouldn't worry about it, and they would launch it but I don't think that we are investing in new technologies. Even for like creating like energy source, you know, young people are trying to come up with new ways to generate energy and so on, but we don't have enough budget. So for that, though, parties like Democratic Party for the People, one of the new parties in Japan, they are like the only party that is really loud when it comes to stuff like that. Like, oh, we need to invest in the future, and you know that we have all people, you know, so we need to invest into that people. I want Trump to take it back and get rid of these stupid rules and censorship. This kind of blacklisting is demoralizing. Maybe it's my on the, if it's on my channel, then it could be my setting. And yeah, it's probably my setting. But yeah, but I personally do not like name calling and so on though, because it's like I criticize all the time, you know, politically and so on, but sorry. But I don't like really negative things and so on. So yeah. Obama. I don't know. Maybe Obama wants to hide. Japan seems more wise with technology than the rest of us. I feel you guys would never end up creating a version of Skynet, but I could see us here in the States doing that. Oh, yeah, because we are such an island nation people that we think of technology, and also like we believe in Shinto, where everything has a spirit living in it. So we think of everything as our allies, basically. Like, oh, this phone has a soul or spirits, and oh, this newspaper, or there's a deities living, in it, and so we need to treat it nicely, and so on. So same for all these new things like robots and technology in general. We think about how to incorporate them into our daily life and so on to be our friends, basically. Whereas in the West, or Russia or China, they think about how to using them for military things, right? To use them as weapons and combatants and so on. In Japan, we're thinking about, we have a low birth rate, so there will be elderlies, but we will not have young people to support them. So let's make robots that can carry elderly people or something like that. It's a real story. There are inventions like that, they can lift up the people and so on. So that's what we are thinking about. So the way we think about things are so different. It's so interesting. And we are the country of Doraemon and Atom, the robot Atom. Even in anime and so on, our people have always depicted living with robots and technology instead of, fighting against them. So like when we look at Terminator, it's so it's interesting. I mean, the good Schwarzenegger was the good guy though. Oh, by the way, I'm watching his new series. I think it's him, Huber. What the hell is Huber? Not Uber. It's Schwarzenegger, right? He's so old now. Yeah, that's him. Fubar. I'm watching it on my phone. I'm like, yeah, it should be Schwarzenegger, right? Like, I don't even remember his face. Yeah. It's uplifting and it's fun. I've been asking that question like 5 times. Oh, this? Why do the Japanese like him? They have no idea what a horrible, evil criminal that guy is. Yeah. Because he's, surprisingly, because he's black. Because it's a new thing, that... Oh, all right. It's new that, like a Trump, we love Trump, but it's new because, I mean, we did like Bush because he was friendly with our Prime Minister, Koizumi, at the time. But with Obama, he's a first black guy to be the president. And until his time, like I feel that the atmosphere in Japan have started to change because of political correctness that he actually brought. But our sense was that we were still living in post-war regime, of the World War II. We lost the war, and we felt like, many people at the time, at least, were looking at it in the racial things as well. Like, it's not the only cause, but like when you look at like Western nations coming into Asian space, we look at them and they're white, right? Western people colonizing and so on. Like it's white spreading to here, right? And then African people were slaves and so on. And so looking at that sort of historical backgrounds, like Japanese people were seeing it like, white people and versus colored people. It's not common anymore. Like we look at it differently, and I have to thank Trump for that because Trump had a common sense of our side, like fighting against China and so on. Now we get it, there are different types of Americans today, I mean, it has always been the case, but it was until like 10 years ago, it was not common to realize that in America there are conservatives and liberals. Our understanding was so bad at the time. So like, didn't matter which side the president came from the country. We are like America as one. We are looking at America, and also the impression that we were getting from America was that like white people, right? And because the leaders were white most of the time. And we were, especially conservatives too, like we focused on like, our people fighting against the white people. It's weird when you think about it today, but at the time that was a discussion. Like if you go through my dad's book collections, a lot of it has that like racial conflict too. So like when Japan won, for example, in war, like I guess that was about Russia, the war against Russia. Like African people got happy and so on, and to colored people, Japan was symbolic because we are colored too, like we are yellow, right? So that sort of things. So yeah, and then with the mindset, what I'm trying to get to is with the mindset, if you look at Obama, he's colored. So like at the time, we didn't think about the difference between conservatives and liberals in the United States for some reason. I don't know why, but just how it was. And yeah, so Obama was colored, so we were like, oh, colored person, yay! Anyway, super chat, thank you so much. Thank you. In Japan, how much of a problem is illegal immigration? Do you have much, and what is the penalty if someone is in the country illegally? Illegal immigration 不法移民はどれくらい問題ですか？In Japan, we have more immigrants, like foreigners living in Japan, but illegal immigration don't happen much. Yeah, like unlike America, like to America, for example, like from the Mexican border, people are walking into the country. Doesn't happen in Japan. You have to fly to Japan, and at the airport, the security is strict. And so it doesn't happen like in America or Europe. And so what happens is that we do have like programs for foreigners, like we have a certain programs for foreigners to learn a certain skills in Japan by working for a Japanese company. And then if they are doing good, then they can keep working and so on. But then sometimes they go missing. So stuff like that happens. Yeah, they come legally and then disappear. So we are discussing like we need to be able to trace everybody, But then leftists in Japan, it's the leftists who do not like being managed by our country. Conservatives, we are like, oh, we need to manage everything, like we have nothing to hide, just manage it, make it work more efficiently and so on, and catch illegals and so on if there are. But it's the liberals and leftists in general who oppose to that because they have shady things. They need to hide from our government. Oh, super chat. Oh, kai, Shiba Shiba dog. I didn't see that. Thank you so much, the Mongolia leprechaun. Ilichan con. Super from Saturn. Thank you so much. Yeah. And how much penalty? What is the penalty? Someone in the country. 日本でそのイリガルにいたらペナルティは何だと Probably sent back, get sent back. Sometimes though, like they get detained for some reason. 拘束されてるのは何なのかね。嘘。Those who stay though, those who stay in Japan illegally and found out they were staying illegally, then they are detained in Japan. And they used to say like, oh, we are refugees, and apply for the program. And in the meantime, they were able to stay because they're in the process of application for refugees. But our government changed that system that they can only apply for 3 times, but most likely they can't. It gets decided after once. So it's less opportunities for those illegals. Yep. Classic overstaying your visa technique. Yeah. Leprechaun. Thank you. Yeah. Yes. So we need to be able to trace everybody, even Japanese people too. But we have just like I don't know how social security number in America works, but in Japan we have my number card now, with our facial picture, like a headshot picture too. On the card, it's digital, but at the same time, it's a cool card, and leftists are against it. But in order to do anything publicly, you have to show the ID now, even at clinics and city halls, and when you want to have your own information, you need a card. So our like infrastructure is changing like that. So that's good. More shady. Oh no! 今分かったに止めなかったでしょ。ひどい。My husband just dropped my stuffed animal. My Billy-chan. My bird, my shoebill stork. But anyway, where was I? Yeah, so yes. Yes, I gotta go. Should I go? Husband-san. Oh, okay. My husband said I should go. I would like to see Billy. Oh. My husband went to another room. Fly to me. I wish he would fly to me. I don't want to fall. There are cords everywhere, so I don't want. When he's back, I can show you. But I gotta go though. Yeah. Anything else? I think we have a meeting after this, so yeah. Husband-san! ビリちゃん見たいって持ってきて。No! ひどい年だ。ひどい年じゃなくてひどい年。 Hello, I am Shubelstork. Shubelstork. 고개고고 그거두잖아요. 가와이, 가이 되셔. 가이, 가이. He's huge, I know. When if he sit on your lap, it feels good because it feels like he's actually alive, like this. Yeah. Knock knock, knock knock. He has a cute hair here. But Shubelstork though, usually they have like this is made like a round, but it's actually the opposite way. So that's why it's a little different. And plus it's not really sharp, it's more round. Yeah. Anyway. Gotta with my like hand oil, it's going a little. Yeah, he used to have a good hair. But yeah. Okay, I should go. Yeah. What is your prediction for biggest next news next week? What would you like to happen next week? I want Ishiba to resign. That's what we are focusing on. Yep. And also, wait, it's in 5 days. It's 15. It's the 15th. So I want Trump senpai to do a great job like he always does to stop Putin from expanding anymore. And also I hope that our prime minister doesn't share any stupid commentary about the World War II, because he could, and that's what our conservatives are trying to stop him from by resigning. Okay. Noni Billy's opinion on current events next stream. Billy's opinion? Billy-chan wants food. I want to go see a real Shubelstork soon. Yeah. Anyway, I should go because we need to talk to somebody. So, okay, I want to stay more, but yeah, let's think about. Hopefully, I get to try. Ooh, brighter. I get to try like a weekday live stream too, to see how that goes. So thank you so much for your super chat, guys, and thank you so much for watching till the end. Let's reunite next week. Oh, it's Obon season, by the way, so we are gonna go to the graveyard and so on to see our ancestors. Our ancestors are coming back for a few days. That's our season. So, okay, next week. Yeah, next week. I hope that the heavy rain doesn't affect any people. Okay, thank you so much again. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, see you next week.